Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm KT Terry. I'm the Active Older Adult Coordinator for the Columbia North and Stephen Klein YMCA. How was your weekend? I hope it was fantastic, and I also hope you got some exercise.
Testimony. Check it out. Your time is coming, so hold tight and do what you gotta do. It'll be alright. Nobody knows the story better than me. Sometimes you got to tarry, you gotta break free and get it in your mind. You're gonna make it this time. Don't let nobody tell you that you win anymore if they're not for you.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the couch. I'm your host, KT Terry. This is the Columbia North YMCA program, and I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Did you get your exercise? That's very important. Well, anyway, we have a lot of good stuff for you, and I want to share some things that's actually coming up, and I think you'll like. We have the Women's Wellness Retreat that is taking place May the 19th. This is a fantastic retreat for active older adults or even younger adults that are female. It's going to be in the Poconos and it's sponsored by the YMCA. So if you're interested, you can actually contact me at extension 1708 here, or you can go online and get this information. Okay, so here's a little copy of what the flyer looks like. Go online and get the information about that. Fantastic program. And also, I don't know if some of you know of Miss Ernestine Shepherd, remember? She is the lady, she's about 85 years old now, and she still looks fantastic like this. She is a champion bodybuilder. She is going to be at the Bally's Casino on the 22nd of this month, at Saturday, for a conference. And she's going to be doing exercises, and there's going to be a lot of different models of exercise there. So if you're interested in this, you can also go online, and I believe it's called the Move Something Conference. Okay, so just go online for the Move Something Conference and see if you can come on out and have a good time. Let me also remind you that starting every Friday this month, we're going to be over at Temple University. We're going to be running from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. 1 hour is going to be the walk run, and then 30 minutes of that afterwards is actually going to be a nice stretch. What else do we have going on here? We still have movie day coming up every Wednesday, something that you'll definitely enjoy, okay? For any other information, you can actually give me a call here at 215-235-6440, extension 1708, and I will tell you all the things that's going on as far as our events for the active older adults. Today we have a fantastic guest here, and I'm just reaching over here, so I want to make sure that I'm getting her credentials correctly. It's Miss Lynn Fisher from the Office of Emergency Management, and this lady has been here before, and she tells you exactly how to prepare yourself for catastrophes and emergencies, and she also gives fantastic gifts. Very intelligent lady, and I love speaking to her, so let's invite Miss Lynn Fisher.
Hi.
Hey Lynn, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I'm so glad that you came out to talk with us today.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Let's see. Lynn, tell us a little about who you are and how you got involved in this particular organization.
Okay, so I used to be a wilderness guide. I actually have a degree in outdoor experiential education.
Excellent.
So I was a raft guide in Alaska and a camping guide in Maine.
They will love you in Camp Spears.
I do love camping. It's my love. It's my first thing that I love, the wilderness. But I was living in Texas, in Midland, Texas, way out in the middle of nowhere, and I needed a job. And I said, I can be a 911 dispatcher. Like, no problem. That's easy. So I went and I took the test and I got an interview. And in the interview, the person interviewing me said, "I do not want you to be a dispatcher. You have too much attitude." So I was like, well, okay.
Personality.
So yeah, she said you couldn't be able to handle that. It's too stressful. But she said I could tell from the way that you are that you can solve a problem. So I want you to come and work for me in emergency management. And that's how I fell into emergency management. After 10 years of teaching, I all of a sudden am now in emergency management. And I tell you this, I do the same stuff. We solve problems, we think about what's going on, we try to help our neighbors. All that is the same stuff that I was doing in the wilderness. I just now do it inside.
See?
And
we were talking about earlier the things that we're being prepared for what we're going to do in
Right.
the future, even if we don't realize it.
Life is funny. I never ever expected that I would be in Philadelphia.
Wow.
I'm a Eastern Shore of Maryland girl, middle of nowhere. We all had tractors and trucks, and now I live in a big city. And
Is it a culture shock for
it's
you
a
now?
big culture shock, mostly just because there's so many people and they're terrible drivers, and I have to figure out how to get through the streets without killing anybody or myself, and that's my hardest challenge is driving. So if you see me in my city truck, be careful.
All right, we'll keep that in mind, okay, audience. Listen, let's get into the meat of the program because I want to talk a little bit about emergency management and exactly what it is.
Okay.
In general, tell us exactly what it is that you do.
So I work for the Office of Emergency Management. We are a city department. There's only 26 of us, which is very small. We show up when really, really big and bad things happen. So when the fire department needs help evacuating a nursing home or a high rise because of a fire or a situation going on, we'll show up and help that evacuation.
Okay.
We work with our partners, Red Cross, Salvation Army, Red Paw, the streets department, the fire department, the police department, anybody that is on an incident, an emergency scene, we work with them to solve those problems and kind of get things back to normal as fast as we can.
That is excellent. Now, okay, let's break it down just a little bit more.
Sure.
So I'm going to take you through each situation and tell me what you would do.
Okay,
your
all right.
organization,
You got
okay?
me testing. Okay.
Natural hazard.
So the biggest natural hazard in Philadelphia, believe it or not, is flooding.
Really?
I mean, we're surrounded by 2 rivers, and then we have all those creeks, and it rains, and some parts of our city flood immediately. I mean, yes. So Manioc is going to flood. You know, whenever it rains, you know that the Delaware Ave section of the city is going to flood. Eastwick is a big flooding risk. So we have in place. We work with the water department. We work with all of the responders to troubleshoot. Okay, well, we know when we get this much rain and it's high tide and there's high winds, we know that these streets are going to flood. So we go out ahead of time to really try to prepare and make sure that those streets are closed if we can, so that we're not having those folks drive through flooded streets, because that is a bad thing to do.
Okay. So you guys also work closely then with the weather reports?
Oh yeah.
Finding out what's
Yeah,
going
so
on?
National Weather Service in Mount Holly is a partner of ours. We have a 24-hour watch desk in our office that listens to all the police radios, the fire radios, what's happening at the airport, and the weather. And they sort of take all of that information and say, okay, this is where we think the Office of Emergency Management should respond.
Right.
And this is how we're going to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting too. I would have thought that fires would be the number one in the city.
Fire is the number one human caused hazard.
Okay.
But our natural hazards are flooding, and then we get some really, I mean, you all know this, we get blizzards.
Yeah.
Right? We get big thunderstorms and windstorms in the summertime.
Often true.
So we think about those, and for instance, we have the NFL draft coming up. We have in place some plans if there's high winds on the parkway or if there's a big thunderstorm that comes through. We've already figured out where we're going to put people if we have to evacuate the parkway.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, you know, they have the big Broad Street run coming up also. So are you guys prepared for anything that might happen?
We think about all of those, the Made in America, Broad Street Run, Philadelphia Marathon, 4th of July.
Definitely.
All of those things, we've done that for so many years. We have a great working relationship with all the different pieces and parts, from sanitation all the way to the police department. So we're all working on that. and we run through some different practices and
Okay.
drills, and then we have the kind of the special events. We have the Democratic National Convention that happened last summer. We worked on that one for a year.
I'm sure.
To make sure that every piece of it was seamless, and
You
then,
guys must have done a very good job because I didn't hear any problems at all.
well, I would like to think that's, we all
Well,
worked
nothing
together
big,
on that.
yeah.
Nothing big.
Yeah.
The police department was really helpful, and they sort of said, we're here to make sure that people can exercise their right to speak.
Right.
And so
I
they
like
took a
that.
very open and honest
Mhm.
take on it instead of putting on riot gear and preparing for the war. And that's a very different philosophy,
good.
And so
Yes.
we didn't have the arrests that
Excellent.
that there were in some other so
Mhm.
it's just that attitude, and because we all work together so much,
Mm-hmm.
we kind of know what we need to do.
All right. Human hazards.
Human hazards fires. So the fire department rolled trucks 48,000 times last year for fires, not for medics, not for people with medical issues. This is for fires. It's average of 134 a day. So that is our biggest hazard, and there's a couple reasons. We are a very old city. We have very old houses. We have a lot of vacant houses and houses that are not taken care of.
Right.
And we have a lot of vacant lots, and vacant lots, people will set fires in them, or fires can start pretty easily, and it just spreads. And so that is our biggest hazard. But if you live in a home that doesn't have a smoke detector, please, please, please call 311. Get a free smoke detector put on every level in your home. The fire department comes out and puts that in for you.
You hear that, guys? It's free.
It's free. We really, that's part of my job is getting people to think about what to do after a disaster, but I want you to be prepared. I want you to be ready before.
That makes sense.
So if fires are our biggest man-made hazard in the city and you don't have a smoke detector, please call and get one. They're free.
Absolutely. Evacuations.
Okay, so that's the scary thing. Like, everybody thinks about those big movies that come out of Hollywood. The Rock, he's gonna walk down the street and things are gonna explode. Like, that's not real life, right?
Right.
But we do prepare for that. We're always a little afraid when he shows up in town. I'm kidding, but life is not a Hollywood movie.
It sure isn't.
However, things do happen.
Yep.
So if we have to evacuate a home, well, first of all, our goal is to keep people in their homes.
Okay.
That's your home. That's
Right.
where you live. That's where you're most comfortable. So we're only going to ask you to evacuate out of your home if we really think that there's a safety risk.
Right.
So we're not just clearing blocks for whatever reason. It's really, we think very hard before making that decision.
Right.
But if we ask you to evacuate, say there's a fire on your block and the fire department knocks on your door at 3 a.m. and says, you've got to go, we have an emergency shelter open, go to that shelter. We will be there, Office of Emergency Management and the fire department and the police department will all be on scene and help you get to the right place.
Right.
Now, you want to talk about shelters?
Well, I'm going to back up
Yeah.
just a little bit because I want to ask a question. I was curious about something. What does the fire department help with other than just fires? Because I see the trucks sometimes going, there's no fire,
Right.
but they're on their route someplace.
Sure. So they put in the smoke detectors. That's the thing that they like to do. They respond when there's a person in the river. So in any of the rivers, they have teams that'll go out. They respond on something called outside wires, which is like the power lines outside, or manhole covers, generators underground. So they're really paying attention to kind of anything that can set fire in the city.
Okay.
So it's not always just an easy house fire. Like, house fires are not always easy, but it's not just like you see the house is on fire. Sometimes it's there's an electrical fire, or there's something happening in an elevator somewhere. They show up for industrial accidents, which we had a few cranes fall over a couple years ago.
Wow.
So they show up for that. They show up for collapses. Like, the one at the Salvation Army. That happened 3-4 years ago.
So for any of these instances, would a person call 911 or would they call the fire department?
They would call 911.
Okay.
911.
Okay.
If there's any threat, any emergency, life
at all,
anything, 911.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Lynn, now let's just talk about the plan.
Let's
just talk about, and I know this is not just for our older adults, active older adults, but it's for everyone who needs to have a plan when a catastrophe takes place. But then if you want to talk about some special elements for the active older adults too.
Sure.
Let's talk about that.
All right, so plans. I'm going to reach down and grab this.
By all means.
I have a couple things. One is a family emergency plan, and 2 is a bag. So if you come to a workshop that I give, and we've done a few here,
Yes.
we give out these bags, and they have on the front of them a list of all the things that I want you to put in the bag.
You want to hold it up for the camera so
Sure.
they can see it?
So this gets hung on the back of your front door,
Right.
and it's called a go bag. And so what it does is has your emergency plan and your medication information and a couple other little things in there, so that if they do knock on your door and say you've got to get out, your house is not safe, you can grab that and go.
Right, exactly.
And in that is your plan. And I have this online on our website, which is phila.gov/ready. You can fill it out online and save it on your phone or on the cloud, or you can print it and have it in your bag. But basically on it, it has phone numbers of people that will help you in emergency, your friends and your family, in town, out of town.
Right.
It has things like your insurance information, your driver's license number.
Good.
All that stuff.
Important information.
Yeah, all that stuff that really proves you are who you say you are,
Right.
and you live where you say you live.
You know what? That's very good because you don't have to search around looking for papers. You can
Right.
have everything in
You
one
got it
spot.
right here.
Yeah.
And it even has things like if you have pets, it's got your vet information, your pharmacy name, your
Right.
doctor information. And then on the back, it has any special kind of like, this is our family plan. This is where we meet in emergencies.
I love it.
This is, what we're going to do. This is who's
Right.
going to call us, who we're going to call. So get that, please.
Everyone should have one of
Yeah.
those.
And I have tons of them, and I'm happy to come and give them out.
Fantastic.
So that's a plan. Now you got to practice your plan. The plan means nothing unless you practice it, right?
You're right.
So we like to, on my block, because I live down in the Southwest, we have a neighborhood fire drill.
Oh, excellent.
And we just say, okay, it's going to be on the whatever day, Saturday at 2 o'clock, and we make a loud noise. Everybody comes out. We have a little meeting spot. It's at our rec center, at the basketball courts. And then, you stand there and with a couple pizzas, and you would
Interesting.
not, you believe it, how many people come out and say, okay, I practiced my plan. This is what I need. This is what I got.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Would you do that for an organization also?
I mean, sure, I'll come and help
That's
you.
good to know.
I mean, the fire department is happy to help you with
Yeah.
fire drills.
That's
But
good.
yeah, I mean that's a real simple thing that you can do. You can say, all right, we're going to do a fire drill and see how we do, and then test it.
Exactly.
How is your plan?
Exactly. And we definitely all do need a plan, no question about it, because
Yeah.
you never know what's going to happen.
No.
Everyone always thinks this will not happen to me, this will not happen to me, but you never know what's going to happen from one day to the next, from one moment to the next.
That's right.
Be totally innocent.
That's right. That's right.
Now the last thing I want to talk about is this little card right here that
Oh,
I
yes,
see.
this
I love
one
this
right
little
here.
card. It keeps me informed of whatever is going on in the city.
This one.
basically, yes.
So one of the things that we offer from the Office of Emergency Management for free is signing up for emergency alerts. So we have partners, the police department and the fire department and the National Weather Service, SEPTA, the prisons,
Yes.
and the refinery, if you happen to live near the refinery. You can get these alerts sent right to your phone or your email.
Right.
And they'll kind of tell you whatever's happening. We don't send them out a lot. We only send them in emergencies.
Right.
But you can choose everything from government closings to, if you live near the Delaware River, you can sign up for their flood alerts or the refinery information or SEPTA trolley alerts, SEPTA regional rail alerts.
And I get that all the time. But you know what? It is very helpful because if you're traveling and you're traveling on SEPTA, it's good to know if there's a breakdown
That's
or,
right.
if any kind of problem. And I get it on my phone and I get it on my emails. But like I said, sometimes it's, oh boy, another one.
I know.
But sometimes it's, oh, thank you so much. I'm glad I didn't take that trolley.
So I was in the 15th district last night and at the captain's meeting, and the captain was talking about how important it is to have folks sign up for these, because what they've started using, the police department has started using it for, is they can target a certain area on our mapping system and say, we have an uptick of crime in this area. This is, they're breaking into cars. Make sure that in this section of the, you know, these streets, make sure that you're not a victim of this crime, because it's happening right in your space. And so the police department's really trying to use that to get out more information to the citizens. And this is how you do it. You sign up. In our system, we have a cool mapping where we can say something happens right here at Temple. We can draw a circle on the map for 2 miles and let everybody know that signed up for the system what's going on.
Well, you know what? I want to make sure that I get some of those for our active older adults. And guys, if you're interested, you can definitely get the cards from me. And Lynn, tell them again how they can get it for themselves.
So online, phila, phila.gov, G-O-V/ready, R-E-A-D-Y. Website has all of that information, plus more about how to prepare your home and your hands and your hearts and your heads for emergencies.
That is fantastic. And now,
Here
it comes. Your news
Here we
coming,
go.
right? All right. So, tell us something about Lynn Fisher that no one else knows.
Well, I love chocolate, but everybody knows
Everybody
that.
loves chocolate. That's nothing new.
Let's see. What do you not know? I think I have always wanted to be a singer.
Did you?
I cannot carry a tune in a bucket, but I like the lifestyle. I like the whole thing about being and I would be like a blues, like I would be like an Etta James.
I can see that.
Like I want to be like a good singer.
You know what? It's really sad that you said that, because the first thing I was going to do is to tell you to sing a line.
No. No, you do not. You don't want that. I mean,
All right.
I'm protecting everyone here.
Okay.
But in my head, I'm a really good singer.
All right. So, who's one of your favorites? Some of your favorite artists.
Oh gosh.
Well,
You know, I like everything. So as long as
eclectic with music.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as long as you play your instrument well, you don't beat on it and break it, okay, and you sing with some conviction.
Absolutely.
I like it.
All right.
I can handle it.
All
I you know, I go everything from folk music and bluegrass music, because I went to school in North Carolina up in the mountains, so a lot of bluegrass, all the way to, I love a good church choir, like you name it.
I hear you.
Just don't beat on the instruments and sing with conviction.
I love that singing conviction. Well, Lynn, it was a pleasure having you, and
Thank
I
you.
promise the next time you come, I won't have you sing. So.
All right, thank you. I mean, it's good for everybody.
So I appreciate having
Thank
you. You shared some fantastic information, something we can definitely take away. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say peace and love, and make sure that you take a body, mind, and spirit. Bye-bye now.
Show at the door.